Hi, we're in Volume 5 of the Bible story by Arthur S Maxwell. And we are at Part 1, Story 9, Elijah's Prophecy Comes True. Okay? Ahab did not live very long after he stole Naboth's vineyard. For a while he was sorry for his sin, but he could neither give up the vineyard back to the dead man nor forget the great wrong he had done. So, time later, Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, came on a state visit to Samaria. At a great feast was held in honor of the occasion. The two kings, clad in their royal robes, sat on thrones placed outside the city gate. They talked of many things, but chiefly about the city of Ramoth Gilead. So this is Ramoth, Ramoth, and Gilead, Gilead, which Ahab said belonged to Israel, but was now occupied by the Syrians, which would Jehoshaphat help him get it back. And then, of course, go to King James Version. I am as thou art, my people as thy people, my horses as thy horses, said Jehoshaphat with great courtesy. But, well, hasn't we better ask the Lord about it? Oh, so Jehoshaphat said we need to ask God about it. Ahab called for his prophets, and they came, hundreds of them, and said exactly what he wanted them to say. Go up, for the Lord shall deliver it into the hand of the king. One man even put iron horns on his head, and said, Thus saith the Lord, with these shalt thou push the Syrians, Syrians until thou have consumed them. But Jehoshaphat did not like the look of these men. Is there not here a prophet of the Lord besides, he said, that we might inquire of him? There is one man, Micaiah, said Ahab testily, but I hate him, for he doeth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. Don't say that, said Jehoshaphat. Call him. So Micaiah was called, and he gave warning in the name of the Lord and that the plan would fail. I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd, he said. There, said Ahab to Jehoshaphat, didn't I tell you that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? Your prophets are lying, said Micaiah. The Lord has spoke evil concerning you. At this, the man was wearing an iron horns slapped Micaiah on the cheek. Then Ahab said, Put this fellow in prison, and feed him bread of affection with bread of affection and with water of affection until I come in peace. As the soldiers led him away, Micaiah cried, If you return at all in peace, the Lord has not spoken by me. Whew. Ahab didn't want to hear the truth, and Jehoshaphat was led astray by him. The two kings marched on Ramoth Gilead. And then it has a picture of the two kings and Micaiah and him telling them. And of course the one with the horns on there. Okay. The two kings marched on Ramoth Gilead, but their armies were defeated and scattered like sheep without a shepherd, as Micaiah said. Jehoshaphat escaped with his life, but Ahab was killed. A certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness, wounding him seriously. In other words, pretty much shot him in the back. Joints of the harness. Between the joints of the harness. Not sure what that means. But okay. Ahab's servants propped him up so that it would look like he was still fighting. But so much blood spewed from the wound that it covered the bottom of his chariot, and he died at sundown that evening. They brought the dead king back to Samaria and buried him there. As Ahab's chariot and armor were being washed in the pool of Samaria, dogs came and licked up his blood. So Elijah's prophecy was fulfilled. As for Jezebel, she lived 12 years after Ahab's death. But the day came when her guards threw her out the window of the palace in Jezreel, where she once plotted the death of Naboth, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the walls and on the horses. Afterwards, when they came to bury her, they found no more of her than a skull and feet and palms of her hands. The dogs had eaten the rest of her, just as Elijah long years before had said they would. It is well to remember that God always means what he says. His prophecies and his promises always come to pass. And then, of course, it has, oh, these are little English hunting dogs on here. Then, of course, the illustration. She's being pushed out the window. And there's the dogs at the bottom. But if you, as I read, she fell very high and splattered everything. So, sorry. Didn't mean to. That's why I'm going to put a warning on this. Okay, that was the end of part 1, story 9. So we're going to, of course, break time. And then I get ready for the next story. See you in a minute.